I think it stopped working.
Oh. I'm out of batteries.
Yeah, when you get older,
I need to go and
light up is good.
I need to go and hide. I know. You must defeat the Jedi without a weapon. I don't know. Hey guys, welcome to our review of the Acolyte. It is bright and early in the morning. I don't usually wake up this early. Alex is going to an event, so we wanted to make sure Alex...
Path of Exile event.
Make sure Alex gets his opinion in on this. So the first 2 episodes has released. We watched the first 2 episodes. That's all we watched. I think some people got access to 4, but this is just going to be the first 2. And this is basically Star Wars: The Acolyte, which covers the end of the High Republic era. I've always been asking over and over, look, I think we need new stories in Star Wars. I think we need new characters in Star Wars. And this is exactly that. However, when I said I would like new stories and I would like new characters, I kind of meant good ones.
You didn't
right?
say good, though.
Oh, shit.
That's your fault.
I got to be more specific. Okay, not that I hate what is here, but I'm surprisingly kind of tepid. You know, I'm like, this is kind of what I got. I think it looks good. I think there's plenty of practical effects, real life sets. They're not using the volume so much anymore. There's some good fight scenes too. And they've got this murder mystery which they almost completely obliterate by the end of the first episode. So I kind of already know what's happening by the second episode. You know who done it. And I don't know, debut for the Acolyte, which I guess I kind of thought, I probably assumed it was much worse. If you look at the reaction to the trailer, there's all this stuff surrounding the show. The showrunner has a lot of controversy around her. A certain segment of YouTube hates the show before it even came out. I don't think it's fucking terrible or anything like that. It seemed all right. It's just I'm not really invested in a lot of these characters. Yeah. I haven't really found one that I can connect with. We definitely get a lot of Amandla Stenberg, who plays a character. I'm going to try to stay away from spoilers in this first little bit, and then we'll talk in the spoiler section what happens. But this does remind me of the Phantom Menace. And it has some of that aesthetic. I love seeing multiple Jedi. There's lots of different sets, lots of different creatures. We get the return, little hints and drops of Star Wars lines. I got a bad feeling about this. A lot of that to try to get us in there. But I felt it a little let down, but it's not quite as bad as I thought it would be. Now, granted, this is just the first 2 episodes of an 8-episode season. We've seen properties have a first season and then turn out to be fucking great later on. We've also seen things to be, all right and then get really shitty towards the end. So right now, I mean, we can go either way on the Acolyte. But so that's my initial opinion of Star Wars: The Acolyte. What do you guys think?
I didn't really have a lot high expectations for this one. Disney hasn't really been bringing out a lot of good stuff. Watching this one, I feel the same way. I don't really care about these characters. These characters just feel so uptight and they're not very relatable.
They feel like Jedi.
Not that much. Yeah, but then they do the stupid trope where they could just easily say one line, and it pisses me off again because just tell them. Why don't you just tell them? You already know, obviously, and they're all acting well, no, she's behind this, and then we'll talk about that in spoilers. But there's that. Yeah, there's some cool kung fu like scenes.
Kung
I like
Fu
that.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the first time we've seen kind of. What is the explanation for the kung fu? We've never seen a Jedi do kung fu.
We'll find out later, but
We'll
yeah.
find out a little
Yeah.
later. There is some sort of initiative to try to attack Jedi without weapons, and we'll see whether that makes sense. Doesn't really make sense so far, but I'm here for it because the choreography
I like
was
that
good.
part, but like it's the in between.
Yeah, I do like how they incorporated the Force into some of the maneuvers. Like you'll see some of the assassin does this kind of flip and then like a jackknife kick, but accelerated with the Force. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the fight's cool, but everything else around it, I'm not too.
Yeah, despite the action, it didn't really get me hyped.
Yeah, set pieces look great and everything, but I would expect that it's Disney. They're like they're known for like building some good stuff like that. They're spending a lot of money.
Okay. It looks good. The CGI is good, but there's one character in episode 2 where I was fucking shocked at how bad it looked. And I was embarrassed. I got secondhand embarrassment with this guy's fucking beard and bald cul-de-sac head. We'll talk about him in the spoilers.
Like,
but I was like, the makeup department
Fired. Everyone's fired.
completely dropped the ball with this one. But do you agree with me on the characters that I'm just not really...
Yes.
I mean... Okay, what's your favorite character? If I had to choose between all of these characters, I guess maybe Soul.
It has to be.
Lee Jong-jae is from the Squid Netflix show, Squid Games. I'd say him maybe because he does seem to have. There's something behind him. He reacts like a human would rather than a Jedi. It's like no, we got to go and do this. And
but also
like,
mad at
you
him
gotta
too,
come
though.
back. Yeah. Oh, right. For trophies
Come on,
purposes.
that's so stupid.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping that as we learn more about the backstory of some of these characters, that we'll get a little bit more interested. And then the zipper head Sith. That's kind of got like a zipper mouth, and it kind of has the helmet of the smoke monster guy, who we thought was Malik or something. I don't remember, but I don't know. I am interested in that because it's like we haven't seen the Sith for this long, so it's like, what is this really a Sith? Is this an assassin with a red bled lightsaber? Or can they be hiding Sith? He's going to kill everybody, and that's how they didn't know? Like, everybody dies at the end? I'd give them an extra point for that. Like, if all these Jedi was like, what happened to these Jedi? Oh, well, we'll never find out. And so they still think the Sith is hidden. Or are we going to start changing canon here? If we start changing canon, I'm probably going to get pretty pissed off. I am willing for certain changes, so as long as it makes sense, like, I'm the time period of the High Republic is 400 years. This series says this is the last 100 years of the High Republic. So, right before the Phantom Menace, this is 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So, this has the potential to maybe peek into Darth Plagueis, whoever trained Plagueis. I think it was like Tenebus, something. Is this particular red saber related to Plagueis or his master or his master's master? I don't know. I'm kind of more interested in that mystery box than the original premise of the show's mystery box. Which, by the way, we have to talk about the original premise of the show, which I am disappointed on, and probably why I'm very tepid right now and meh. Because this was marketed as a Sith-centric
That's
fucking
what I
show.
wanted it to be.
I want to know the inner workings of the Sith. I want evil temples. I want, here's how we're going. The Jedi. Listen, High Republic was hundreds of years of peace, right? And then they fought like, I don't know, plants or some bullshit and some other race that really weren't the Sith. And And then towards the end, it's like, okay, the Sith, the rule of two. How do we shatter their basic dominance of the galaxy? That's kind of what I was hoping for. So far, that's not what we're getting. We have the potential to maybe get that. I want to see the hypocrisy of the Jedi, which I do think they are setting up. Because there's a lot of, little, things here and there. There's definitely more to the story that we're not getting. Is that going to be satisfying or not? But I am disappointed right now because that's what I want.
That's what I thought it was going to be, and
it's definitely Jedi centric. You just got that bald headed green headed lady coming in, and she's like, "You're going to do this and that," and I'm like, "Man, you look terrible." What the thing is there? I'm glad I skipped the High Republic. My lord. I don't mean to be mean, but it just don't look right. No. It don't look right to me. All right, Alex, what are you thinking?
Oh, yeah, that's not very good. And I think as a premiere, it's a bit of a failure for me. Because, the whole point of a 2-episode premiere is to get me excited about what's to come. And honestly, I don't think there's anything super exciting here. It's so much more of the same. The plot points happen because they feel like they're written as plot points, not as human beings or Jedi or aliens or whatever would naturally dictate how this stuff happens. I think that there's some cool fight scenes. I think there's some things that people are going to like and latch on to. I just don't think very much of it is compelling. I don't think anything that's happening right now. Like, there was some mystery at the very beginning that they immediately spoiled. It's like, okay, well, that's not there. And then they whisper, there's this hint of maybe there was some wrongdoing by the good guys. And that's the only thing that I'm interested in so far with this whole episode, these whole 2 episodes. Yeah. So I don't think they've done a very good job. Some things look really expensive and amazing. Some things look incredibly cheap. Yeah. And so there's like this weird thing where you're actually looking at this episode and you're like, I don't know what this is. Sometimes it feels like a child's play that got $1 million budget, and sometimes it feels like $1 million movie written by and then a fan film. But there's different scenes, and so I don't think it's very good. You mentioned something about them breaking canon. I always prefer the rule of cool, and so if we can come up with something really cool, and the one throwaway line from
cool,
if one throwaway line from a long time ago in a movie that I don't even think is any good at all,
the Mundi guy, nobody has seen the Sith for thousands of years.
Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
He very easily could have been saying something in response and being like, no one has seen the Sith in numbers, or no one has seen the Sith organized, or like, it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck about that guy or what he said in a bad movie. Like, if they're like, they meant a couple, a lot of them. Yeah, bring back the Sith if it's awesome. And
the Sith are extinct. They have been for nearly a millennium, is his exact line.
Yeah, but he could have meant as an organized religion rather than like one or two random people off. Yeah. So it's like, if it is cool, I will say, like, let the rule cool happen. The problem is, I don't think that this group of people, from what they've shown me so far, should be allowed to use the rule of cool because they haven't shown me anything that is particularly cool. I really enjoyed that one fight scene that we get in episode 2 where, there's some characters that were kind of hyped up that were in this for 30 seconds before disappearing. Yes. And I don't know. I don't think that this is a very good start for me. And if I had, as a consumer who is already tired of Star Wars' bullshit, if I had watched this too, and then it's next week, hey, do you want to watch this? I would say no.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Joe, would you be like, hey, after
I'm
these
not
2,
excited
you're not excited, but you're willing to watch?
I
think I'm slightly higher than Alex. It's like, I am interested because I want to see the Sith. I'm hoping that, like, all right, this is the setup. We got the setup out of the way. Now let's dive into the Sith. And how are we going to disrupt the Jedi? And you said this was a Sith-centric series.
But you said.
And I'm with Alex just because motherfucking Kai Andy Mundis says that the Sith are extinct. They have been for nearly a millennium. I defer to the rule of cool. And honestly, I always thought that line meant that the Jedi believed the Sith were extinct. And that's the reason why there are the rule of 2. Because with only 2 Sith, it's really hard to fucking find them. And they can hide quite a bit. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with if there's 1 Sith left. My feeling is maybe it's not really Sith. He's just dressed like Sith and has a red lightsaber. We have seen in the video games, especially with Cal Kestis, that there can be characters that have red sabers that bleed the saber, but they're not Sith. So now you've opened it up to it could be anybody, it could be anything. I actually have a theory already on who it might be. I have two theories on.
I have an OJ movie theory that I want to happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am looking
because
forward
I'm
to
not
that.
interested.
We'll talk about it in the spoilers, but let's go ahead and some good fight scenes, some interesting ideas, some member berries, some good sets, some good costumes. It feels Star Wars, but I couldn't shake the feeling because of the weaker characters and the weaker story. That I just wasn't into it. Honestly, I was more into the premiere of Ahsoka than I was the premiere of Acolyte, and it hasn't hit with me. But that's okay. Usually I give a series like 2-3 episodes before. So maybe this third episode is going to be good. I don't fucking know.
Better.
3 and 4, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there has been a situation where, it's not towards, maybe season 1 is just fucking bad. And if it's bad, we're going to call it fucking bad. But here's what I think. I'm willing to give it time to get through the entire season to make that final determination. I know there are people out there that have already made up their minds. Hell, they made up their minds before the fucking series came out. Yeah. Some people have had access to 3 and 4. I've seen rumors what that covers. I'm a little...
You want to stay away from it?
I'm trying to stay away from it, but, people are just sharing stuff with me. But like I said, right now I'm tepid, and I'm just going to be rating each episode as they come. And to be honest, I don't rate these very high. So let's go ahead and give it a rating. Let's go and give the first 2 episodes a score. So I'll start. I think the first episode... was average, and I think it got half right. I'll give it slightly above average for the costumes, the return of multiple Jedi. I don't give a shit about the High Republic, but I will maybe be okay with the end of the High Republic where the Sith are starting to come in and this sort of stuff. So I guess I'm at a 6 out of 10, which is, not very good for Star Wars, and I'm hoping for a lot better. Like when Ahsoka came out, I think it was a 9 out of 10. Mandalorian, 10 out of 10. This is better than Boba Fett book 2, or what is it? The Book of Boba Fett with the fucking multicolored mopeds and shit. This is better than that.
Doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
But that's a low bar. So 6 out of 10 for episode 1 for me. And then I was expecting episode 2 to get better. And in my opinion, it kind of got worse. At least for me. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10 for episode 2. Yes, the mystery is starting to unfold. And that's what kept me interested. But other than the mystery unfolding, I was like, but here's where I should be, boosted and compelled and further interested, and I'm kind of not. They kind of ruined the mystery box, and now the only thing I have to look forward to is what the fuck are the Jedi hiding, and who the hell is the zipper mouth, the Cenobite fucking Sith master. That's so 6 and 5. What about you guys?
I'm at 4s. I'm not really interested.
Below average.
Below average. Yes, there are some cool fight scenes. I don't like what they did with Indara. That kind of sucks. I was like, oh, that's a cool character. Okay, cool. They revealed the plot.
I was like, that didn't happen, did it? Okay, we'll talk about it in spoilers.
Yeah. They revealed a big plot too quickly. They should have played with it a little bit more. Again, these characters are not very likable yet. Besides, I guess, Soul. But other than that, it's I don't see another reason to continue watching. Yeah. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
Sorry, I just noticed your shirt, Joe. That is an amazing shirt. You finally got the shirt you wanted, that guitar, because you love guitar so much. Where the fuck you get that? That looks like you playing guitar.
Yeah, I'm more excited about his shirt too than this. I'm kind of, I think, in between you. I'm anywhere between like a below average to average. I think there's some really cool stuff. Like, I actually really enjoy the Soul fight. It kind of reminds, like the whole. Not quite disrespecting the, it's just like, look, I am above you in power level, and this is not the kind of thing that I'm doing. But they're also playing in some things that I don't like. There's some character things that I got very much Last Jedi moments where we're purposely withholding information from people that are on our side to drum up fake drama for no fucking reason, and it's like, this doesn't make any sense. This is not how human beings speak to each other. Fucking stop it. So I think as a premiere, absolute failure because it didn't get me excited, but as individual episodes, actually, I don't know which one I like worse. I think I'm going to give one of them a 4 and one of them a 5, and I can't decide which one is which because I think the fight scenes in the first one were worse for me because it felt like a stage. It just felt like a more amateurish thing, and I really appreciated more of like the old school kung fu thing. Anytime there's any old school kung fu, like, you got me because I fucking love that. So I think I'm going to go with a 4 for the first one and a 5 for the second one. But I don't think that these are very strong.
You know what? I'm lowering the score of the first episode to 5 out of 10. I'm looking through my notes, and I just remembered the plot point. The fucking prison ship pisses me off.
Yep.
There are so many fucking convenience moments.
I was going to talk about that in spoilers.
What are you talking about?
That pissed me off.
Y'all
really?
are fucking stupid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going 5 out of 10 for episode 1, 5 out of 10 for episode 2. Because episode 2, while I didn't like it as much, I liked it in different ways. Yeah, the fight scene and stuff, the mystery. But this is really, unfortunately, kind of a meh start and a wet fart. And it's like, fuck. Hopefully we're going to get a lot better here. And according to some of the online discourse, people that have seen 3 and 4, we're going to get worse. Yeah, people are screaming about, see, there's nothing in here in the first 2 episodes that screamed, oh, this is woke. Disney has an agenda.
Get your tiki torches.
The tiki, where are all the white men? This kind of stuff. You can't really point to the first 2 episodes and say, this is woke. It's like, God, stop looking at everything through this lens. But apparently it gets much worse as we go over here into episode 3 and 4. And a lot of the online discourse is that it's a female-centric show. And Star Wars is no longer for boys, is what some people are saying. Star Wars is now for women. And
I mean, those people are, Disney is a almost $1 trillion business. It's probably lost some, but it's, hundreds of billions of dollars is what Disney is worth. And they make financial decisions. They don't make cultural decisions. They may hire certain things, but they're going after demographics that are worth a lot of money. Anytime you're dealing with advertising, you look at women between the ages of 14 and 28 spend more money than anyone else on fucking earth, and so that's a valuable demographic. So maybe that's what we should be going after.
I see what you're saying. Because our demographic for women is like 5% or less. Yeah. If we were able to, like Jacksepticeye, because I talked to him during one of those dinners, he's like, my female is 40%. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, well, no wonder he got the 10 million subs at that time, and I got 3 million. I was like, holy shit, man, I got to appeal to the women. Unfortunately, women don't really like, a bunch of a guy screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs, like your dad. They do like the Joe. It's nice baby face, a heartthrob, but not me, as I remind them. Anyway, so what I'm saying is,
Disney makes financial decisions. Bob Iger is sitting there not going, convening with the cabal of Tumblr moderators, deciding what is happening in the culture of the United States and the world.
Well, when I saw that this is primarily women led, the director, some of the producers, some of the actors, and I kind of expected it to be female-centric and have a female voice at least put it in there. In the first 2 episodes, you don't really get a lot of that. So maybe it's going to get even bigger. But my question is that okay? Is that fine? Like, are you so personally offended that Star Wars is now trying to appeal to, female nerds and bring those in? Now, my thing is like, Yeah, but how many female nerds are there? This seems like a very small demographic, and you're probably not going to make a lot of money, and it's probably not going to go the way you think it's going to go.
I mean, anytime the art itself is
But
compromised...
I could be wrong. The culture could have changed.
For sure, but anytime art is compromised by business, for me, it bothers me. Like, you're watching the sequels, and all of a sudden there's a porg scene, and you're like, you know that they're there to sell stuff. Porgs. And it's like, it's not a good scene on its own. It felt tacked on to sell toys, and you don't like it. And, like, I even, like, there's times where, and so that's just, like, that is, again, not from the culture war stuff, but that's, like, the business stuff. And so anytime that they're making business decisions that feel awkward, that, you know, that the storytelling is taken away to try to sell costumes or sell outfits, it sucks.
Yeah. Do you so you think, basically, to sum it up, it's a business decision you're thinking rather...
This isn't one person on the street trying to convince you to buy. Like, this is a like hundreds of billions of dollar entity, and they want to be around for a long time.
They want to try to find a new market. My thing is, I agree. I think it's a business decision, but I'm like, is the business there? Or you just...
they're not digging. They're not making a good business decision.
That's right. It's not a good business decision.
They're losing money like crazy,
but so far, like me, like, you know, for I don't necessarily need to have a character that looks exactly like me, that's my exact gender, that is my exact sex, for me to identify with something. You know what I mean? But for some people, apparently, they do need that. And if they don't get that, then they're screaming at the top of their lungs. And they're like, how come I don't get that? Which is funny, because if you really analyze media over the past 100 years or however long it's really not been all that long. You know, there are groups of people like minority and women who haven't been represented on screen for a long time. And they're like, I want somebody. And now when they're getting it, the other side is like, you can't have it, you know, because our jobs are being taken. It's like, we're going to stay away from that, basically. And it's just very hypocritical. We haven't seen any of that in episode 1 and 2. This was just a bunch of messages that I got sent at me, and people are screaming, you know, like, this is their whole thing now. If they see too many women, if they see too many minorities, if they see too many aliens, I'm like, you do know what property this is, right? Star Wars. It's like, all right. Anyways, so yeah, kind of not the greatest premiere. No. If we're giving it 5s and Joe's over here at 4s.
Yeah, the MVP is Pip, the MacGuffin tool that does everything.
That sells toys.
Sells toys. But it actually done well, because I actually like Pip quite a bit too.
Yeah, that's an MVP right there. He does everything.
Yeah. I did like some of the creativity, like some of those prisoners had some gross fucking members. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, Star Wars. There's like a fat-headed droid robot that's like a nightmare-looking thing.
Yeah.
But what the fuck? And then his head turns into a tentacle. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get into spoilers real quick. So...
Carrie-Ann Moss is in this for 30 seconds.
That's what I was mad about.
What? That's why. So
you saw that in the trailer. I was super excited. I was like, "Oh, that'll be cool. We'll see her do some more Matrix moves."
Man, I can't wait to see her, expand and do some.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, wait, but she's all right?
She gonna be fine.
Is there a medical droid?
Maybe it was just a dream.
You got a back to take somewhere.
It was a dream, right?
No, they got force healing. It's always existed. I always remember
that. I was thinking that. She pull it out.
I think she's dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
And then when they're talking in the fucking on Coruscant, there's a master is dead. I'm like, oh no.
I was like, maybe it's
honestly,
I
got pissed right there. I was about to give it a fucking 3. At that point, I was mad.
Yeah, that scene wasn't very good.
Now, we will see her again. I've seen her in clips of the trailers. We're going to see her in flashbacks. But they needed something in order to be like, oh, this is real. People can die. And I do like that part of it, ultimately. That because a Jedi Master is killed, there is the threat of all of the Jedi Masters who are being targeted will get to be killed.
Like, okay, that's fine.
Kill somebody.
Not that one.
Start with somebody else.
So we start on planet Ued, where we get that fight scene. And honestly, I thought it was a good fight scene. The first one, like Alex said, a little more choreographed feeling than the second one, but I still liked it. I like this kung fu idea. I like where they don't draw their saber, unless they intend to kill somebody. I'm like, I'm not sure if all Jedi kind of subscribe to that.
That's like a universal thing. Like, I think that for the purpose of this show,
maybe she's being taught that by the Sith guy who's filling her head with other stuff. Because I'm like, I'm pretty sure they draw their sabers all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm. No,
he's put your saber away.
No, he's making her do the daily challenges.
Well, she's killing all of these people in the bar, and she's like, I get it.
No.
She doesn't want to.
She didn't. No, Alex,
she's beating everyone up.
Yeah, she beats everybody up. She doesn't kill everybody.
Okay, well, so she's beating the shit out of people in the bar, and this Jedi who is a peacekeeper, who I don't care if she knows who she is, and she feels racked with guilt over something we don't know about. This woman is crippling people by force kicking tables into them.
Oh, I see.
And her stupid ass is standing there doing nothing. I'm glad that bitch is dead.
The Jedi would be like, fucking stop it now.
Pick your ass up.
She doesn't know whether this assassin are killing them or not. In fact, she's got one guy and a fucking headlock, and she could have easily, broke his neck. But I think what the show is trying to say is that she's good. She is the duality, yin yang. She wants to kill specific people, and she's not gonna just kill anybody just for look. Like at one point, she has the opportunity to kill the bartender. The bartender had a little baby, and then she decides not to. I went back and watched. I watched this one twice.
To, kill
every person that she was fighting. She just hurts. And she does not kill. She has the opportunity to kill every single one. And she
if Indara didn't stop.
Yeah.
No, guys. What I'm saying is her intentions were to kill only the Jedi. Yeah, she didn't go in there to kill.
Yeah, when you force kick a 1,000-pound table at a man, you don't know that he's not going to die. She kicked that table at him so fucking hard. That guy's probably going to die.
With allowances for dramatic scenes. So, the best character is immediately killed. She takes a fucking, kunai to the fucking chest and drops to one knee. And I'm like, no, she's still alive. She dropped to one knee. She's good.
I was thinking force heal too, though.
Yeah, hurry. I can't die because Jedi's are stupid.
We were thinking that. I'm old school thinking, so I was thinking back to tank.
It's canon,
Jedi
Joe.
will show up. I know it's.
Or she'll use her force speed and just run to the closest back to tank. She sonics her way through the thing. Fucking Jedi are stupid.
Lucas was like, "Oh shit! Don't stop remembering that." Anyway, so we get the new Pip robot toy when we're introduced to our main character or our main actress, Amandla
Osha,
and she is named Osha, and she looks exactly like the assassin who fucking attacked the Jedi and killed the Jedi. And then one of her coworkers was like, where the hell were you last night? You missed some great thing, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, oh, so maybe she did go and kill, but no. Almost immediately
ruined. Sleeper agent. Oh, okay. Well,
no, never mind.
Well, that's the premise. I was like, okay, I like this because we don't know. Is it a twin sister? You almost immediately think, well, it's either a twin sister or she's doing this mind thing where she's happy one moment and then Sith the next moment. She's like a broken person. And I was like, okay, let's play with this for a while. And we don't really play with it. We kind of ruin it immediately.
Oh, let's play with this for a while. Oh, we're done? Okay. We're done. Okay.
She's in space doing some repairs. There's an open fire in space. I'm not sure that's how space works.
Oxygen
especially
tank
with the way the flames were going so high. Yeah, it would look different. But you know what? Creative license. Star Wars has some of this stuff, so that's fine with me.
Not Ryan Johnson.
This I'll allow because creative license. Now, what I won't allow is what we'll get
Ryan
to
Johnson
in a
can fuck
bit.
off forever.
Yeah. So it triggered a memory in her. She has a thing with fire. She has a horrific past. Her whole entire family, sister, mother, was killed in a fucking fire. And, yeah. So then the Jedis arrive, and they are looking for Osha, her. And it turns out Osha was a former Jedi Padawan. And she's like, hey, Jedi skills don't transfer. And I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What? Are you stupid?
You don't. All Jedi are forklift certified. They just be like
now. So I couldn't get a job. I used to use Jedi powers, but now I can't get a job.
I used to be a Jedi master. Now I sweep everything. I'm a janitor.
And then these other workers are like, these goddamn Jedi take jabs! Come on, that's stupid as fuck. There's so many things that you can do with minimal Jedi training that will make you badass. I'm like, oh, all right. That's when that tiny little thing, the fire and that, and I'm like, okay, this will, hopefully the writing will get stronger rather than weaker. Anyways, Jedi skills aren't transferable is ridiculous, is what I wrote. Anyways, I can already tell in an instant that we've got twin sisters. One is evil, one is good, or one is misguided, and one is this or that. And unfortunately, Master Indara was killed. They questioned her about the death, and they brought the fucking bartender. He's like, that's her! I see her! That's the one! And nobody in the fucking Star Wars galaxy knows about identical twins. They also have no cameras anywhere at any time. There's also no work records or anything.
Well, they would have to jump into hyperspace for a long period of time to get to that other fucking planet. And then the less... well, I'll just say the Trade Confederation, which have been toned down significantly from how they were in the
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? Alex.
So they've been toned down.
Make fun of the way I speak.
Yeah. So they're like, no, she doesn't have access to the hyperdrive. We know where our spaceship has been. You fucking idiots. Get off our ship. And no one says anything because the writing for the show is not good.
What are those that race called? Like Trandoshans or something? The Trade Federation guys, I like their makeup was good. You know,
makeup was good,
looked just like the previous ones. They again, they don't like the fucking Jedi. They're cutting corners. They're not using droids. They're using humans, and it's like,
droids are expensive.
But these are really small little nuggets in the fucking, overall. When we're like, what? No, that doesn't make sense. So, anyway,
this is where we get introduced to Yord.
Yord, yeah,
as well too.
So Yord, who is the straight edge Jedi, he's even got a yellow saber that ignites, which means that he's now in the Jedi Temple Guard. He's a Guardian class where he follows the rules. Motherfucker is a rule follower. In fact, he just became a Jedi Knight. He's got a young Padawan now, and he's going to do everything by the book. And so it's like, I hate him because, this is the character I was like, oh man, he looks cool. I think I'm going to like him the best. And I hate him the most. Yeah. But I think there's something there. I think eventually, hopefully, he will flourish.
Maybe he'll
later
loosen
on.
up or something.
But I do need a rule follower. I do need a Jedi like that because if we're about to show, he's not a paladin. He's
a paladin.
Oh, like a paladin.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
We do need like this type of character, so that's fine with me.
So she's one of the most dangerous assassins that the Jedi have seen in hundreds of years because she takes out a Jedi Master and an entire bar at once, and he's like, "We're gonna put you on this barely armed Austin Powers the ship that's easily escapable." And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, what? I was like, oh, look at that. I got confused because when they took off, the ship looked different than the ship that arrived.
Yes.
I'm like, ooh, okay, they just got a bigger ship because they're transporting prisoners. Turns out that she's on the prison ship. She says, hey, we're about to break out. What are you doing? And there's this side thing. There's this sexual fucking creature sucking off a dude. And he's like, oh. It's like, yeah, he's disabled. This is the creature makes you see things and does stuff to you.
He's a violent. They had to subdue him. So.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, that's kind of gross, cool. And here for half a moment I thought, okay, we're getting dirty, Star Wars. Let's get gross, cool. You had that, and then you had this other robot guy who looked like fucking Krang. He had a fat head, but he's got a complete robot body. I'm like, that is terrifying. Wait a minute, Star Wars. Are you telling me that there's people getting flayed and fucking put their heads on top of robot? What is happening here? Is this the Imperium? Is this 40K? That's more servitor than fucking... So I was like, all right. Both of these things go nowhere or they end up being stupid because eventually the little creature comes off the guy's mouth and walks off. And I'm like, okay, that's coming back. She's going to be... It's going to get on her when she crashes, and all these visions are from the creature. Nope. It's just a dream. Force triad or something. We'll talk about it later. And then the dude with the droid fathead, he could literally hack into the pilots. Nobody thought about this in the stupid prison ship.
Maybe they didn't know that was one of his things.
And the prison ship, like Alex said, is controlled completely by droids. An assassin who is killing Jedi Masters. The whole reason you hyperspace jumped across the galaxy to find her, you say, okay, go off screen and I'm going to look this way now. That's literally what happens in the story.
They don't even put her behind the red. They put her behind actual bars that we see her force levitate shit.
You better not be escaping. Oh no, you escaped.
But even then, like, it's
Come on.
supposed to be like don't you like pat them down and say, hey, you can't have these tools with you?
Yeah.
No.
No, they
Hey,
keep.
we got to turn that fat head robot guy off because he will hack into the
This
other
is the
robots.
worst.
The commentary,
This
it's
is
about
the
the
worst.
commentary of the Jedi, that they're the hubris and the...
I knew you were gonna
and
say
the
that.
Bureau, don't worry
I
about
thought
it.
I would have to say that,
No,
but
fuck
you
that.
said it.
Yeah, I get what that's the excuse that some people are already typing. Fuck that. It's stupid.
It's
Yes.
too much convenience. It rips me out of the story. And when a show factors these things in and does it in a smart way, it gets credit from me. Every fucking time I'm like, that's smart. That's cool. That makes sense. That's Andor. Like, all these things are so tightly written and it makes sense. The universe feels lived in. It feels real. It doesn't feel fucking Saturday morning cartoon, fucking stupid, moronic. You know,
There are Saturday morning
why
cartoons that are well
is it a
written,
goddamn
too.
horror movie where, you know, the people are acting dumb and having premarital sex and you want to see them get killed? I don't need that vibe in Star Wars. This is not what we're supposed to have.
I do
This
think
whole
Star Wars does
scene-
need Jason, though.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
really
would.
cool.
That would be
He
fucking
pulls out...
amazing.
He's like, oh, shit.
A fucking lightsaber
Machete?
machete?
Yeah.
That's the other
I
weapon.
want
Because
that.
apparently into the lightsaber whip, that they were teasing, there's another type of lightsaber weapon that you haven't seen before.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Anyways, she sits in a chair and she buckles up because she, as these prisoners break out, they get into little escape
pods.
crabs, and then she can't help herself. She needs to help somebody. And the guy has the sexual starfish taken off him, and he immediately freaks out and, you know, he uses
Pushes
an
her
escape
and
pod,
takes it.
and it fucks her over. And so instead of sitting in the 2 chairs meant for pilots, supposedly would probably have some safety
That
gear,
would have been better
she
than what she
decides
fucking
to sit
did.
in a fucking
Sit down, brace for
storage
impact.
area
From orbit,
from orbit.
from falling down.
And I just rolled my eyes so hard. This is why I subtracted the point.
Yes.
I was like 6 out of 10. Nah, because if you really remember the episode, there's stupid things that happen. That ship should have boom,
Exploded.
fucking nuclear explosion. Now, if you would have inserted the scene like beep beep beep, you know, on the panel. Literally, it takes 2 fucking frames, 2 seconds, autopilot engaged, crash procedures initiated or something. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll give you a little bit. But it just so happens, even though the ship is doing this in the air and shit is coming off, it landed softly.
Yeah. Soft still.
She's fine.
In fact, the Jedi are like, no way, she survived this. And I'm like,
not
yeah,
even
I
a
agree,
scratch
no way.
on her.
Easily
Not
survive
even a
this, yeah.
scratch.
No, it's a scratch.
That's
Break
why I
her arm,
think.
put
That's
a
why I think
gash.
that whole scene should have been taken out.
Yeah.
I fucking
or
hated it.
redone.
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 Somebody
was like,
should have.
this was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
I didn't like it.
It was bad.
I was like, really? Not
All right.
even a fucking scratch.
I gotta go a little quicker here, it's Alex. So they question the prisoners. They find out that she is I'm like, damn, they already got the prisoners. And one guy, I don't know if you noticed this, the starfish guy. Oh, she's dark, and I felt a dark energy. And I was like, wait, what? Did he mean her, or did he mean something else? Is she what? So to me, they might pull a switcheroo that the evil one's not really evil, and the good one. Osha has the capability of turning to dark, and May will have the capability of turning to light, and at the last moment, they'll switch. Okay.
No.
He's just talking nonsense. He's like,
He's
"All
just
right,
talking nonsense.
Tell me what happened. He's like, oh, she saved me. She's very nice. Okay, cool. Bye.
Don't know. It's something with darkness. At least one of those
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah,
but,
but
then
afterwards,
he calms his mind,
he
and
cal-
he's like,
yeah.
yeah, she's actually a really good guy, betrayed her.
Oh, he's
Yes.
just fucking lying to the Jedi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So questions, and then they find he wants to go and find her himself because he,
He's the one who saved her.
He's the one that saved her, and they think it's So anyway, so she follows someone out the door. It's in the fucking snow, and this person leaves the ship. And I was thinking that this was a dream. It's the creature. She's actually still strapped to the thing, and the creature came from the
You're giving this show too much credit right now.
Yeah, well, no, it turns out that...
Even the creature died. The creature died, and she has nothing.
Right, because we never see it again. And no, it was just a dream. Or maybe it wasn't a dream. Maybe Star Wars is doing the Force Triad again. Or Dyad, right?
The
triad. That's
yeah, no.
That's the mafia. Okay, anyways, maybe they're doing that again, and I'm like, I didn't like the triad. I didn't like the Force Dyad from the fucking Rise of Skywalker, and now we're gonna do it again.
You're gonna fucking like
nobody has seen a dyad this strong since generations, and I'm like, generations? That was 100 years. Oh, this could be the last one that they're talking about.
Oh no.
Anyways. So she has a connection with her sister. In between, we get a scene, Yord, put your clothes on. I'm like, why?
Because he needs to show off his ripped body.
If it's for women, then we got to show off the muscles and his ripped body. May is her sister. She will kill them all. She wakes up from the dream. So May is like, I'm going to kill them all. So this has the mystery box. So something happened. Osha was told her sister died. May thinks Osha had died. So there's some lying going on. Their mother or mothers, I'm confused. Did they mention mothers? Somebody's mother died. How could there be two mothers?
I thought they said May started the fire and killed her family and
that's
stuff.
What That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But then it's revealed maybe she didn't start the fire. That's why Osha's so mad at May. At one point, they do confront each other as she's running in episode 2. We'll get there. So she runs from the Jedi who landed, and then she backs up and she falls. And our Jedi Master saves her and says, I believe you. May is alive. So that's pretty much. And I don't know if it smashes right then.
Yeah.
Like, the ending is weird as fuck. She's walking on a beach. There's a dude in a helmet monologuing and talking. Fucking nonsense, by the way. A terrible ending. He says an acolyte kills without a weapon. Nonsense. And he reveals a bled red lightsaber. And how can this be the Sith is, in question. And it's just a hiding Sith. But there's no real structure. There's no real, third act. It just, smashes end. And I felt like... I was like, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it ends?
Yeah.
That's not a good ending. Already I was wavering, and then when you smash it there, I'm like, that kind of sucked.
That's how I went with the 4.
All right.
This is a fucking terrible
I see your
scene.
4.
Yeah.
I went from 6 to 5.
Terrible middle scene in between a whole bunch of stupid stuff. And another thing that we didn't really mention is he was talking to Yord and Padawan. He's like, oh, yeah, she had twin sisters. Like, you don't think the sister did it? He's like, no, she's dead. But then I guess we'll talk about it in the next episode. He's like, well, something happened again at the Jedi Temple. It can't be her. He's telling her it cannot be Osha.
Yeah.
And he goes over there. He's like, we're leaving to this place. He's like, why not tell him?
Yeah, Yord gets really pissed off. He's like, this could still be her. And Soul absolutely knows it's not her because he refuses to share the information with him.
That's what is
and it's
like, why is this?
You're stuck in hyperspace for several hours. Tell him that it cannot be her because this is stupid tension for stupid people.
Yes. It's like, there's already
what else pisses me off? Carrie-Ann Moss is just dead. What a fucking waste. What a fucking waste. I'm sorry. It's a waste. I was curious to see her character. Yes, we're going to see her in flashbacks, but
that's not the same.
Whatever. It's not the same. So anyway, and yeah.
Yep. No,
the one thing that I thought that this, because everybody was screaming one way, that episode 1 was going to be, there's politics, it's going to be overly preachy messages, and then if you're too triggered by too many, and there's none of that in this first episode. But it just wasn't that great of a story. It's there's none of that. If you call this, it's like, unless you're triggered by too many women or too many minorities or aliens on screen, then why the fuck are you watching Star Wars?
It's space.
But Anyway, good use of practical sets, practical effects, but just didn't make much of an impact. So 5 out of 10. Going into episode 2 now. You go a little faster here. So even shorter than the first episode.
Yeah.
I looked up the time, and while it's like 38 minutes, 39 minutes, you take out the huge end credits and the first part, it's only 31 minutes and 29 seconds, something like that. And I'm like, bro, I hated this in Mandalorian. I wagged my finger. I'm going to fucking wag my finger at you already because it feels truncated. And this one cuts off too. And it just, it's not a satisfying episode. What you've done is you filmed an 8-hour movie and you've just split them into pieces and you barely did anything to try to make them have a satisfactory ending for waiting for next week. When you do that, it's like, well, fuck you. I don't care that.
Yeah, there's no fucking good cliffhangers.
There's no cliffhangers would make me go, what? You need that in a weekly show, but apparently they don't think they need it. So that pissed me off. All right. So she finds another master, and then she goes, we have unfinished business. And then she assumes the stupid stance, and the whole attack me routine is so cringe.
Guys, it's like...
It's so fucking cringe. Like, don't.
I hated it the first time,
do
and I hated it the second time.
Don't do that. Put your hand down. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to be cool, but it didn't work, and I hate you. And this is when I laughed out loud. So that already made me cringe. But then when the camera goes,
You see his face.
and you see his face, I literally laughed. Terrible beard and prosthetics and this cul-de-sac head.
He became a Jedi Master because he got bullied the entire life. That's just like those Karate Kids. It's like, you know what?
You look like a young man, baby, old man.
He's like, I'll show
You're a
everyone.
baby old man.
So he became a Jedi Master.
Oh, the fucking Benjamin Button became a fucking Jedi
he
Master.
was being bullied.
It's embarrassing, Joe. The makeup team should be ashamed of themselves. What the fuck? Just cast an older actor. Like, and I think it's because I saw the trailer. I went back and I watched the trailer. There's a moment where there's like it was like a younger white kid, and his eyes go black and he falls. And I'm like, is that maybe that's him, because they wanted to use the same actor because they think the audience is fucking stupid and won't know that this Jedi aged. So they didn't want to use a different actor, but it was embarrassing. And so when you start like that, I'm like, oh shit, I'm on that website. I don't even remember what it was called, but this is like 20 years ago, when I was a little filmmaker and I was making little Star Wars films. We used to all put our fan films on this website and watch them. I felt like I was on that website, like this is like a fan film. I'm like, wow, these guys got a real good budget for this fan film. That's what it is. It's real good budget for a fan film. Anyways, however, the scene, so really embarrassing, but the scene immediately picks up the drop ball. I will say this. I think it's pretty fun when she starts to try to punch him, but it's like she can't, and he's just like straight up ignoring her. I actually like that force thing, and then she does this cool kick, and then she falls on the ground. Like, fucking love that part. It's like almost a force shield. It's a force bubble as he completely ignores her.
Field.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a Jedi comes in. Apparently, I was so pissed when I learned this was a Jedi temple. So she broke security that fucking easy because she pays children everywhere to like break in.
Should throw a doodad on top of a thing, and then the things that she throws hits it when it's already closed anyway. So why would we pay? What was the point of this?
What? And then she even drops her knives on the ground with the master while he's meditating, and a Jedi comes in. It's like, I heard something. There's something here. I'm only gonna look left. And I'm only going to look right.
But wouldn't he be able to sense it?
I'm not going to look.
No, he's not a Jedi. Oh, wait, never
mind. All I have to do is my eyes have to move 1 inch down and see knives on the ground.
But he would sense her.
Or look up. He's not a very good Jedi master, apparently, or knight. I'm like... Anyways, they learn of another attack while they have Osha in custody. So it can't be Osha. That is shattered.
Way.
No
and
way.
We're done with that plot.
No, we're not.
We already knew that because she didn't have access to hyperspace.
Go ahead, Joe.
But there's no way, because George's like, well, we have to put her in custody if we're going over here, because she could still be a bad guy.
Right. They're
like,
going to work together.
Just tell her, hey, there's been an attack.
Yeah.
It cannot be her.
Tell Yord.
You are with her.
Soul could clear this up and make Yord stop worrying so much. I think what it's trying to do is it's trying to plant seeds for a plot line that we have not yet realized, and some of this will make sense when it opens up. If you look at it as she's trying to make the Jedi's fear and act on fear. And so the show is trying to convey that the Jedi are freaking out and they're fearful. That's what she's like, trying to take the lightsabers and, away from the Jedi, or draw their sabers in anger. They're trying to do something with the fear, and I think this will be revealed with the Sith once they start talking about it.
Yeah, but why is Soul...
It's not done well yet.
Yeah, well, it's not done. I mean, Soul is perpetuating the fear, so Soul is doing a better job perpetuating fear than May is.
My fear is that that's on purpose, where he's like ashamed and he doesn't want to say anything. And it's a character trait and flaw rather than bad writing, is what they're going to try to reveal later. Yeah. It may or may not work. We'll see. So, anyways, May is friends with some guy who is blending in. He's a thief. He's a killer. Who knows?
He's a killer. He killed.
But he's like, okay. So, but he also knows about the master, and she says that she needs a poison because I can't kill him, and she needs to kill 2 more Jedi after Torben. Torben is this guy floating, and one without a weapon to please the master. And I'm like, what? So this mysterious shady dude also works for the master. They keep secrets, and they're using shortcuts to kill Jedi, even though the master said you need to do it like this. Yeah. So, however, I actually have a theory on this guy. I think this might actually be the Sith guy.
Yeah, it could be.
If you look to see, number one, he's the one that tells her how to defeat the Jedi. He knows how to create fucking potions and shit. At one point, she attacks him later on for selling her out. And if you rewatch that scene, which I did, he has fucking skills, and her eyes go like this, like she's almost surprised by his skills, stopping her. And you could see that he's almost about, and then he realizes. So that could be the identity of that Sith, because the Sith is very slender and almost female. The other idea is maybe it's one of the mothers. So those are the 2 theories, the working theories that we have right now. Either one of the mothers who is sicking one of her daughters on the Jedi for killing her and her family and ruining everything or whatever, or it's this other guy who's behind the scenes and the Jedi are all around him. That's more Sith-like to me. I kind of like that. I want him to be... I don't even know that guy's name. I don't even know if his name was said. I'm just going to call him the shady dude. Anyways, forgive me, we thought we were doing the right thing. And he agrees to kill himself by drinking the poison. So the Jedi actually did something horrific or fucked up, that a master's just going to kill himself. He's like, I've been waiting for you. I'm sorry. We thought we were doing the right thing. So we don't know what the hell is happening. This might have to do, if you look in the trailer, in episode 1, when Carrie-Anne Moss gets her in a position, you see this circle on her forehead when her hair is revealed, and there's a stamp here. It's the same stamp as the witch in the trailer, and she's got the stamp. So maybe it has to do with the Jedi are like Force mysticals, and there are other clans or groups that use the Force, and maybe the Jedi are kind of fucking assholes, and if one of these other Force user groups gets out of line, the Jedi goes and shuts them down, because they're trying to do a monopoly on the Force, and dominate the galaxy. And so they did something fucked up with this witch clan or witch coven that we'll see in future episodes. That, I think, has that potential there. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like the idea that the Jedi are doing some fucked up shit and they deserve to be killed. Because if they're trying to make May sympathetic, and they'll drop little things here that, she's not as bad as you may think.
But I wanted evil.
The only way for that to work under Disney's banner is that if these people deserved it. So, motherfucking stupid baby beard guy deserved it. Carrie-Anne Moss deserved it.
The Wookiee,
and unfortunate, and so
else.
Wookiee is going to eventually die. That's probably going to be her hardest battle. Hopefully he gets a badass fight scene. That's all we have to look forward to,
yeah,
really.
just a fight scene, that's it.
And then Soul. and he is probably the one that was like, stop, or like he was having conflicted issues, and then that will be the sad death, and Soul will probably die.
because he said I was the one who saved Osha, and I watched May die. So I was like, I don't know.
He must have been lying or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe those other 3 Jedi knew that he was too goody two shoes and was trying to hide it from him too, and
Probably.
he walked in and so that is the one. So that has me interested, and the Sith identity has me interested. I'm like, are they better not retcon Plagueis, because Plagueis is this long-faced alien. I forgot what the Muns, the race, right? Are they saying this new Sith is Plagueis?
You saw what they did with the Inquisitor, right? What they did with how he just turned into Uncle Fester. Remember the original one from the prequels?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the live action version of him.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's real bad. So yeah, they might, and I don't know. Is it still canon that Plagueis is a Mun, or can Plagueis be a human? Leave it in the comments, and maybe this guy.
Plagueis only wanted you to think that he was
a human. Now, the first time they show the character, motherfucker was sleeping. How did Plagueis die? In his sleep. He's sleeping too much, so maybe they're setting that up. Anyway, forgive me. Bunta was used from her home planet, so they used something from her home planet to kill that guy for poetic justice.
Yeah, quick nitpick for me.
Go ahead.
Also, the Jedi was like, "Let me take you to Torben."
Yeah.
So I guess he takes him the longest route.
Yeah, what the fuck was
and
that?
she's like, "Oh, right here.
The dude's been in the same room the whole fucking for 10 years or whatever.
Why would you take it the longest route? For convenience, it's like, oh, she's at the scene of the crime.
Wait a minute.
I was like, that's
thought they
stupid.
went to a completely
no,
different
because she's
room.
like, I'm taking you to Torben, and they show up fucking after. She's like touching everything. She's there for like an hour.
This is embarrassing. You should never be given this much money and this much power and write a Star Wars show and do something stupid like that. Because the only reason why OSHA goes first. I didn't do it. Like, I found him this way
Yord's
is
like,
because
I've been watching
she sees a vision, and luckily Yord followed her. He said, "I watched it the whole time."
But again, why would
you do
Jedi
that?
take them
It's so
the
stupid.
longest way
I
around?
like your nitpicks, Joe. I do like it. So, anyways, she wants to kill 4 Jedi. His response. So the Jedi are talking about how May is out there killing people, and she wants to kill 4 Jedi. And Soul's response is, "Have faith in me." What? She's already killed 2 of them. What do you mean? Have faith in her? Have faith that she's gonna stop killing?
She's not killed 3.
What are you talking about?
3. 3 is
3 is the magic number. And then she'll stop.
Unredeemable.
Have faith that she won't kill me. He only cares about himself. Maybe I don't know.
I trusted you.
On Kofar, we get the Wookiee Jedi scene, and then it just. I skipped the part where she meets back up with the shady dude. She like you. And he like immediately like she's not even on his level, but then he like stops. Rewatch the scene. If this goes nowhere, I'm going to be fucking pissed. He has to at least be trained by the master or be the master himself in disguise, watching over her, because I think he's like spying on the Jedi when she shows up. Anyways,
Padawan had a better plan.
So he's
than
like, "Don't
yours.
worry, I know where the Wookiee Jedi is. I found the Wookiee Jedi." And then she's like, "Okay," she's like, "Redeem yourself," and so it's like we go attack, and then we go to the Wookiee Jedi scene, which they're in the forest. There's 2 scavengers, and they're fucking bad guys, and they're like, there's a ship here, let's rip its fucking hyperspace out, and then the Wookiee's like, "Roar," and then he force pulls, and this is the first live action Wookiee we see, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm interested in seeing him ignite a lightsaber and see what a Wookiee can do. But wouldn't you like constantly be giving yourself a haircut and shaving?
Just one
he looks
side,
like a poodle.
Just like one side's like clean cut, the other one's all hair.
Yeah.
I want to see him load lightsabers into
my God.
a bowcaster and just shoot lightsabers at people.
Jesus.
And then he pulls them back.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that would be sweet. But then the scene just ends once again, really unsatisfactory.
Yeah.
He beats up the people and walks towards his ship, and I'm like, okay, wait. So did he crash land on this planet? Is this just the planet that he's hanging out on? Why is he here? Maybe he's atoning too. I don't know.
He did bad stuff. Well, the sisters also figure out that each other are alive. I mean,
forgot
her name?
about
Osha knows that May's alive, but now May realizes that Osha is alive. The best scene in this entire... There's only 2 scenes in this entire episode I like. I actually think that...
we did skip that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the guy killing himself, kind of cool because it plants. If the guy is willing to kill himself over past sins, I want to see what those. I want to see what those sins are. That's exciting. And then Soul is like trying to talk with May, and he like you can tell that Soul maybe wasn't in line with one of the things, or he wants to atone for those things, and he just disrespects the shit out of her as she's trying to beat his ass. It's like the only good part in all of Obi-Wan, where Reva's trying to attack Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's like, "Look,
get out of here."
No, I'm not even going to.
So it's a good fight scene.
Yeah, really
some creative force moves.
Yeah,
and then he just.
She goes to attack, and then he's behind her, and it's like.
And he's like, why are you trying to attack me unarmed? And so he knows that there's another force that's like compelling her to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then he disarms her, and he fucking takes her kunai and throws him on the ground. She's like, son of a bitch. And he tells her, your master has failed you. And I was like, oh, this is a good scene. And then Yord is looking on with binoculars, even though he's like 5 feet away.
It's a good thing they only had one stun gun.
With him, like, you completely ruined the scene, Yord. But I guess he's further up and away. They're trying to make it seem like it's a big city. Then the Padawan comes with the ship, and she lights. You are under arrest from the Republic, the Jedi powers. Stop where you're at. And then she goes, poof, Jedi, poof. And dirt goes everywhere, and the Jedi don't use their super speed to go after her. She just disappears.
Yeah, they use a stun gun or any of the other things that they have access to.
Oshi uses the stun gun when they finally see they're both alive. Oshi? And then she fires because she's mad at her because she thinks that she killed the family. But she
purposely misses.
Drove off. It could be that she purposely misses,
she did kill
but it could
Jedi.
be that she just sucks at shooting, or she doesn't want to kill her sister, but she's still mad at her sister for assumedly killing the family. Mm-hmm. So, and then, like I said, and then we go to the Wookiee, and then it just ends, and I'm like, what the fuck? 31 minutes. Without an intro, long credits, it's too short. Again, no efforts are made for it to end nicely or satisfactory. It just cuts off like we're watching an 8-hour movie.
You're supposed to be excited.
And they decided to randomly stop the VHS. Nope, get out. It's my turn. I got to watch something.
You're supposed to be excited for the Jedi Wookiee. That's it.
Nah. All right, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, there was 2. I think it gets all of its points from me for those 2 scenes.
Yeah, the fight scene was cool.
All right, so as for the characters, I'm not sure I really like or connecting with any of them yet.
Same.
Soul-ish, maybe.
Soul and Pip.
Osha and May, these are huge. Not invested in them. The Jedi, all the Jedi are too, they're rule followers for my taste, so I don't really like them, but I think that's the point. We only really her former master, do I somewhat like. So why did May think Osha was dead? And why did Osha think May was dead? Why did Soul say that May was responsible? So there's a hiding secret here. But yeah, it's just so far it's kind of bland. It's yeah. And is she justified in killing these Jedis? That is interesting. And who the Sith is. But other than that, yeah. I did like the combat without the sabers. But I think it was bullshit that this series was pitched as a Sith-led series. And so far, it's completely Jedi. And there's a small assassin. And it has to flip hard in the final 4 episodes for it to be what it was marketed as. So I think that was just bullshit. And so you're getting negative from me.
Yeah. I mean, the show's on super, super shaky ground right now. Like, this show could absolutely plummet in score and, like, the overall series be terrible. Or, I mean, it could in some, like, I guess it could redeem itself, but it's not showing quality.
Here's how you can make it a little better for me. I want it to do well because this is new stories, new characters, new era. And it's the end of the High Republic, which I'm okay with. Like, let's get to it. And you could connect into Darth Plagueis. In fact, who's the guy before him? Darth Tenebris. Mm-hmm. So you could connect into Darth Tenebris, Darth Plagueis. That could be cool. Or you could fuck it up and retcon and then piss me off. And here's how I could get better. I hope to see the inner workings of the Sith and how they plan to upend the Jedi. I want to know that one guy that's like attack without a weapon. If we get some scenes with that person and, you know, some training and things like that, that would satisfy me. But I don't know. I feel like we're not even going to get that. They're going to hold that to the very end, try to keep it as mysterious as possible. And yeah. So unfortunately, this series is more letting us down on characters and story rather than, you know, it being some political message and stuff like that. And what a sad existence to live like that. If you're pissed off with you see, I already saw comments that says there's not enough, you know, there's just too many females in it, and it's like, geez, like if you see everything through the eyes of how, you know, the characters look, and if they look like you or they don't look like you or have the same skin color as you, aren't you doing the very same thing that the other side? I don't know. That's just annoying. So far in the first 2 episodes, that hasn't been a problem, but apparently it gets way crazy in episode 3. So
good crazy?
I don't know. No, bad crazy. Bad crazy to where it's like, this is no longer for boys. This is for girls. So we're going to have to see.
The next episode is going to be like Cyndi Lauper and just like a montage of girls shopping.
That song is a banger.
It is a banger.
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Alex, were you triggered that you didn't see anybody that looked like you? Because you're the white. You're our token white man.
I am. Yeah. I don't care.
Were you upset by the first 2 episodes in that regard?
Like, people don't look like me. People aren't shaped like me. It's fine. I view myself as a normal human being, and everyone's like, no. So
yeah. So are May and Osha a Force dyad? I do not care. Yeah. We shall see what the series has in store for us. There are 6 episodes left, and can it go up or will it go down? What do you guys think? Please leave it in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.